Yo, book nerds, please ignore the mess over here. I need to clean, so there are boxes of things in the background. Apologize for that. Today, I have some confessions. The confessions of a book nerd. I want to talk about my personal bookish quirks. The things that I do related to books that are odd, that other people think are weird, that are just my little like pet peeves. Maybe you do the same things, maybe you don't, maybe you think this is really weird, but we're just gonna talk about it. I'm just going to tell you all about the weird stuff that I do. I'll ease you in kind of gently. The first thing that I never do with my books, I never dog ear my pages unless it's a textbook. I don't care about my textbooks, but my books that go up here, my nice books for my shelves, I never dog ear them. And I never bend the spine back on itself when I'm reading. Every time I see someone do that, I like cringe. I'm like, no, you're breaking it. You're breaking it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I hate when the spines get broken on accident on my books. I never do it on purpose. And I don't wreck the pages. No hate to those that do that, but personally, I can't do it. Another thing about me, I always read physical books. Occasionally, like for school, I'll read an ebook because I don't want to lug around a textbook. But when I'm reading for fun, for my own recreation, it is always a physical book. I don't do audiobooks. I just do physical books. Those aren't super abnormal, I would say, those few things. So I'm kind of easing you in. Now we're going to get into the crazy mind of Jordan here. And I'm going to bare my soul about all the weird things that I do with my books. I kind of wonder, and this is an honest thing, I'm not just saying this, I kind of wonder if I have like OCD, or at least like OCD tendencies. I've never been diagnosed, but I have been curious because like I know people say that like, oh, I'm so OCD, but like I have rules when it comes to my books. These are rules that I made up and I follow them. If I don't, I get really bad anxiety. And so like, I know this sounds so strange, but like that's why I wonder if I'm like undiagnosed. I have actually been thinking about asking my therapist, because I do have a therapist. No shame, I do have a therapist. I've been thinking about talking to her about it because like if I break any of these rules, I get so bad anxiety. And like, what's gonna happen? Nothing bad is going to happen. But I get such bad anxiety. So, first thing, I hate dust jackets. I don't know if it's like the feel, like when I'm holding it and it slides around. I hate them. I hate them so much. Yes, some of them are super pretty. I throw them all away. I hate them so much. And I know that probably drives a lot of you crazy because like you see my books like naked on here. Like I do not keep the dust jackets. I know some of you are going to be like, well, just take it off when you read. No, I just throw it away. I take it off after I buy it and I throw it away. And I know that would probably make a lot of you cringe, but there are no dust jackets on my bookshelves at all. Like they are all naked. They do not exist on my shelves. I don't like them. The next rule that I have, if I'm reading a series, I have to read it all the way through. Like I will start at the beginning and I have to read all the books in order. I know a lot of people do that, but I have to do that. Like I do not want to take a break. I do not do that. I can't pick up a book from a series and come back to the second or third one later on, years later. No. I'm going to sit down and read the whole thing. Now, this is where it's going to start getting a little weird. Please don't judge me too hard. Like, I am honestly like bearing my soul to you guys right now. So, Let's see if you can keep up with me. If I read a series and I finish it, I cannot just jump into a new series. I need a standalone in between as like my palate cleanser. I do not read full series like back to back. So like if I read Harry Potter, I'd need a standalone in there before I like jumped into the Chronicles of Narnia. Like I need something in there to like separate out the worlds. The exception to that rule is if I have a spin-off series. So like when I read the On the Run series, where is it? I have it here somewhere. When I read the On the Run series by Gordon Corman, there's a spin-off series called Kidnapped, which I read immediately after because it's in the same world. So I finished this series and jumped straight into this series without a standalone in between. That is the exception to my rule right there. Otherwise, I have to read the series all the way through, have a standalone before I start a new series. I also only read one book at a time. I do not ever have multiple books going at once. I read one book at a time. And the exception to that is like school. Like I don't count my textbooks or picture books that I'm like reading to my kids or reading myself. Sometimes I like to read a picture book. But I have one like novel or short story collection or poetry collection, whatever. I have one going at all times. I don't double up. And I'm not really ever not reading anything. Once I finish something, I start something else. There might be like a day or two where I'm not, if I'm trying to figure out what to read next, but that's like the extent of it. I always have one book going at a time. Now, let's talk about my bookshelves. Like, I have all of the books that I own that I've read behind me here. They're all on these shelves here. I have a separate bookshelf over there. I'm not going to show you it because it is a mess right now. I need to clean. Like I said, I need to clean. But I have a separate bookshelf that has all of my unread books that I own. So I keep them separate. And my bookshelves that I have read, these are all organized alphabetically unless it's a series. Then it's the first one is alphabetical and then I keep the rest of the series together in chronological order. So it's a combination of alphabetical and chronological. I do that so that I know where my books are at all times when I'm trying to find something. It's super easy. That's the way I like to organize. I know it's not the most like visually appealing to many people. I actually really like it. I like the kind of like organized chaos that it appears to be. I like that all the colors are mixed and all the sizes are mixed. I like that. It's aesthetically pleasing to me. My unread shelf, on the other hand, is not really organized in any particular way. I kind of try to keep authors like together on that shelf, but my unread are definitely not in alphabetical order. I do keep series together, but that shelf is a little more chaotic, mostly because when I am looking for a book to read, I'm just perusing. I'm not like usually trying to find a specific book. Sometimes I know what I want to read next, but often I just like plop down in front of that bookshelf and just like stare at all the books and it's like, what catches my eye? So I don't really need it to be in a particular order. So that one's a little bit more messy. If I get the shelf cleaned up in time, before this video posts, maybe I'll insert like a picture of what that shelf looks like, but it's kind of buried right now. I've got boxes all over the place. So yeah, I would show it to you, but I'm not going to. I did get it cleaned up. So here is my unread bookshelf. All of these books are on obviously my physical TBR. I want to read them at some point. When I will get to some of these, I have no idea. So give me recommendations if you have any that you think I should read really soon. Anyway, I think those are all my confessions. Those are all of my bookish quirks that I want to share with you, that I can think of to share with you. Some of them are super weird, I know, but I just wanted to be an honest book nerd with you guys. So that is me. I'm a weirdo. I'm sorry if you hate that I throw my dust jackets away. I'm still gonna do it. I'm always gonna do it. I will even like pick up a book and be like, that's a cute cover. Goodbye, and throw the dust jacket away. So I'm sorry if that bothers you. I'm still gonna do it though. Anyway, drop down in the comments and let me know if you think I'm crazy. Let me know if you do any of these things. Let me know if you have any different quirks that you'd like to share. Confess, own up to it. Let me know how weird you are when it comes to your books. I would love to hear about it. That's all I've got for you guys today. Hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for talking books with me.